You know me, I'm a big hoodie guy.
Oh, me too. I love me some hoodies. Unfortunately, my story's not about hoodies. Now,
Right.
this will
Here's a
continue.
different article of clothing.
This will continue our conversation from I think last stream. I went to buy pants recently, and I bought some new jeans. Let me tell you, going back to jeans, while being super comfy in yoga pants and pajama pants and all other things. Ooh, going back to jeans. I wore them to work yesterday and today, the 2 pairs I bought. Super uncomfortable all of a sudden. It's like going back to jeans is the worst thing on earth after you...
Well, jeans, you gotta break in jeans.
Yeah, that's true. I'll get back to you guys next stream.
And jeans take some time.
Buying clothes
Like
to
what?
combat bigotry is awesome. It is.
I think anything that combats bigotry is pretty cool. You gotta kill all the bows in this room.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I joked like that to somebody at work one time, and they took me really seriously. They were like, hey, you have to write your order. I was like, I know. And I just said it like that, and they're like, fine, fuck. I was like, whoa. I was joking.
Oh, I had a teacher give me hot slip once. Did you open the second treasure chest in that room? I think there was 2.
I don't believe I did. Let me. You'll see me float back slowly in Deku form.
Back at it. Back at it.
Still way too hot here for jeans. That is half my problem. It is very hot here right now.
So gross.
Is
I don't know if we
fuck.
one
I went
one
back
story
down
at a
my
time. Was I must have been in like grade 2 or 3, and we had a substitute teacher, which always stressed me out. And so one of the things we were doing is we would sit around on the floor, and the teacher would read us a novel, and we would get through it as a class. So
I want
we
to see the
started
second treasure chest. Sorry to interrupt you. I think it was just the one.
Oh, okay.
We'll know when we get stuck.
Brian bad at games. But so I was. It was a big thing if you didn't raise your hand before you talked, before you like spoke to the teacher. So that was like a big deal.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have to read the prologue, you have to do that. That's what the regular teacher always does. And she just goes, right. I have every intention of reading the prologue. And I felt like such an ass for the whole day.
That's amazing. I had a...
It made it more difficult is that my mom worked in the schools that I went to up until grade 7.
Yeah.
So, if I got into any trouble ever, it didn't take long for it to get back to my mom. Not that that was considered trouble.
Right.
They probably laughed about it. But I just remember. It's funny how you remember things like.
What the hell is that?
It's funny what your brain holds on to.
Yeah.
Super.
What is the weirdest or dumbest thing? Maybe we've talked about this on stream. What's the stupidest thing you've ever gotten in trouble for? Like the dumbest thing.
I know exactly what the reason is. When I was in probably around grade 3, and everyone, we were just, it was like quiet, work on stuff or read time, and I was just sitting at my desk. Little side note: did you have the desk? Like, did you guys have individual desks in your?
Yeah.
In your school? Mm-hmm. We did not. But for a long time, we did not. So it was like big tables. And
like
four or five people.
4 people do it. Yeah, we had those too. We kind of, it depended on the classroom.
It was a monumental day when the table buddies got switched up. That, let me tell you.
Yeah, that is.
It was a huge day. Big deal. You can weigh that button down with,
Personally.
But yeah, personally. That's weird calling him Person Link instead of Human Link.
Person
I didn't
Link.
like that. But
Guy Link. Dude Link.
So anyways, I was reading something, and the word China came up. And my brain kind of wandered. I don't think I was on the ADHD medication that I would soon after start taking, so my brain just was wandering. Yeah. And I thought, what would it sound like if you pronounced China like China? And I just whispered China to myself, and this fucking little, like, whoever was sitting next to me, I can't remember her name, but she was such a brat, and she just ratted me out for swearing to the teacher.
What?
Brian swore.
No.
And I'm sitting, and I got in so much trouble. So much trouble. I guess
is
like,
so much. Now I know we haven't talked about this because I would have remembered that. That's funny.
Like, I guess she either just wanted to start shit, or she thought I said shit.
Or maybe she just hadn't heard the word before.
Yeah, but like I said it so quietly that, like, alright, by the way, terrible decision to be Deku Link. Yeah. Anything that brings fire, not a good call. True. But yeah, I got in crazy trouble.
That is so funny.
What is funny about that is that my grade 2 teacher, my grade 1 and 2 teacher, scared the life out of all students. They were just so scary. And they are probably the 2 teachers that I am closest with now.
Really?
Yeah. Other than my mom. They ended up being the nicest people.
Huh.
Once you graduated, they're just really strict teachers.
Wow.
And like, they weren't mean teachers. They just had a presence
right
about them that frightened you. Especially because the one would always wear heels. So you knew, like,
she was coming.
Yeah.
Oh, that's classic.
And there was no escape.
We had one teacher that had the same thing. She wore, I don't know if it was heels. I think it was just like high tops. But you could, they clopped. You could fucking hear her coming a mile away. And the thing was, it was the engineering teacher. So the room was sectioned into like 2 rooms almost. It was like the computer room that you walked into from the hallway, and then past that was like a wall that covered up 90% of it, kind of like blocked off the classroom portion, and then you had to walk around the wall and to get to the classroom portion. So you hear her clip clopping from the hallway, and she can't see everybody at their desks. So she had this funny thing about her, and I do silly shit like this too, but for some reason we just like to tease her about it. When she would stand and teach, nobody really sat at the front desks. They're always a lot open because engineering was kind of a small class. So she would take one of her legs and put it like horizontally on top of the front desk, and then stand on her other leg when it was like she was a flamingo. She would put one horizontal on the top of the desk and then stand with the other leg. So one day she left, and right when we heard her coming, everybody stood up and stood on their desks like that. Sorry, I'm focused on telling the story. What am I doing? Shoot.
Shoot the eye.
I already did, I thought. What did it do? Oh, it raised the thing. Okay. I see.
Oh yeah, you can go back into the main room, and then shoot something else, and it'll purify the water.
God.
Shoot the fire to the torch.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Standing on the desk.
Yeah, so we all stood up and stood like she stands, and she was pissed, but none of us got really in trouble because it was like the whole class. and it wasn't serious enough for her to like have a classroom punishment. But I think that was just a funny story that when we said high heels, I thought of. But the dumbest thing I think. You go ahead.
Oh, you
and then
go
I'll
ahead.
go with. Oh, you sure?
Yeah, I thought that was your getting in trouble story. I was just gonna say I have a second getting in trouble story.
All right, I'll do mine real quick, and then you'll do yours, because there's a lot of good ones. I feel like between the both of us probably. But for me, it was the teacher. I think it was in 3rd grade. Did not bother to learn our names whatsoever. This was about like halfway through the school year. She still did not know any of our names, hardly at all. Maybe like 1 or 2 kids' names. So she would, to call on people, she would point at them, but she wouldn't know their names, so she would just point. So the 2 kids in the class that wanted to answer the most questions, or that just liked the class, were me and the kid directly in front of me. So we, multiple times over, she would point at both of us being the only 2 raising our hands, and we would both start talking at the same time. So the 3rd time that happened, we both got in trouble for it. Like, we both got like detention for that, because she wouldn't learn our names, and she would just kind of point, and then she would be frustrated that the correct person didn't talk.
Damn.
So yeah, she was a bitch.
Kinda gotta be a people person to be a teacher.
You would think, right? And what's funny is I was sitting in detention after that happened, and I like was just sitting there, and I think I was like twiddling my thumbs or something, but somehow my hands were like stereotypically, like my hands were folded like on the desk, like you would see in like a TV show almost. I just had my hands on the desk folded. I was just sitting there, and she like aggressively was like, "Where'd you learn how to do that?" And I was like, "I don't know. I just think it's polite."
Learned it from life?
Yeah, I was like, I just always learned that it was like polite to sit like that. It's like a posture thing. And she was like, "Ah!" And then she walked away. It's like,
Anyone
Jesus.
who makes that sound is an asshole.
Right.
Okay.
Oh.
Go get the.
Yeah, I didn't know what door it was. I'm good. Okay, all right. Yeah, oh, it's the one with stuff behind it. That makes sense.
Yeah, you just unlocked the boss key. Go get it.
All right.
Then, but the second time I got in trouble, the most ridiculous time was much more serious. So when I moved to the second school, like my high school, as it would become, we were playing Foursquare at recess or whatever, and the girl who I was behind, someone made a really good move, and I was like, "That was awesome," and I gave her like a really like whatever you're thinking of, think lighter, punch in the arm.
Oh my God.
And she gave me one back. She was clear. Like, we were buds, and someone saw it, and I got suspended for a day for assaulting.
Oh my God!
So
What?
Someone had it out. Yeah, someone had it out for me big time.
And like they didn't even like let her come forward and be like, "Did he hit you?"
No, they
What?
were. Yeah.
I guess I could see where that could be a problematic situation. Like if they brought her in and if she in a situation where she would have been scared, I guess that would have. But still, that's ridiculous.
But even so, she hit me back.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
It was ridiculous.
Yellow.
It's,
You're the best, bud. It's second, Brian.
right, first Brian. Disagree. You could never. You don't have the cajones to be first,
My
Brian.
man just brought me some curly fries. What a legend. What a dude.
Hang on, what's your address? I'm Uber Eatsing you a whole lobster.
There's no way he beats me in anything.
There's like a Gordon Ramsay risotto. Fuck you, Brian, number 2.
That's the thing, Sickaby, is like sometimes like you can be verbally antagonized over and over and over again, and then once you do something about it, you get in trouble. I got in trouble once because a kid in high school who really, what's funny is his name is Shane, and he always reminded me of Shane Dawson in like all the bad ways. Every bad way you can think of, like Shane Dawson, bad traits. This Shane also had those traits. So
shoot the arrow through the fire at the torch, by the way.
you are correct.
And there's a button by the torch.
So we were walking around in gym class. I almost jumped right off at the wrong time. We were walking around in gym
Before
class.
you get farther into this,
Okay.
a good practice, just so I can say it, so I don't forget, is put the fairy mask on. If it glitters, that means there's a fairy in there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Anyway, gym
Ooh,
class.
first shot on that. So Shane Dawson. I had. He was like in my friend group, but I wasn't friends with him directly. But I was talking to my friend group, and we were discussing crushes, as high schoolers do. And I had a crush.
Go back.
Okay. I had a crush on a girl in the class. So his first thought of what to do, which is wildly inappropriate in any circumstance, was to grab my hand when we were walking directly behind her and try to get my hand to grab her ass.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So I pulled back, and I didn't even mean to, but when I pulled back, I like kind of backhanded him in the mouth, and I got in trouble,
That's an
and he got away
appropriate
with it. Yeah. He just got away with all of it because I was the one that hit him, even though I pulled back because he grabbed me.